sitting down here, I'm painting these feathers, starting to paint these feathers. I'll show you, I got one to go here, I'll show you how I'm doing that. But first, I just want to mention, I went ahead and did the beading designs on his shirt. And I went ahead and I painted his eyes. Now why did I do that ahead of time to where you couldn't see me do it? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm 80 years old, my hands are not steady like they used to be, and I don't want to embarrass myself by showing you certain steps which takes a little more skill than I presently have. I hate to say that, but that's just the way it is. So I picked this design out of my research book over there, and don't get too close, you'll show all my squiggly lines. I used to be pretty good at, designs on Indians, and some of my previous Indians are really quite beautiful, the beading detail that I put on them, but unfortunately it's just not like it used to be. So by getting on the internet, you can go in and you can type in Native American war shirts, and you'll get a lot of returns on that, which will show you various designs that you can use. I won't say copy, there really wouldn't be any problem with that, but you can be original, come up with your own or whatever. To find what looks great. These look pretty nice. They'll look better when it's varnished. So that's where we are. Now on the feathers here, what I'm trying to do, I was spraying them for a while with, I was spraying them with a real dark brown, and I'd give me a speckly pattern down below, and then I'd come back and brush on the tips, like in the book here. This time I'm going to try it a little different. I'm using a color called Mudstone. Actually, so I'll take that back. This is Hammered Iron. I thought it was Mudstone, which is somewhere in here. There it is. It's close, but not quite. But Hammered Iron, that's a nice color. Anyway, that'll work. So what I'm doing is I'd like to start on the inside here. In my book, Judy, pull back a minute, you can see how the black comes down, and it's just sort of a rough out where it comes down and hits the white area. And in here you can see where it comes down, and there's some little specks of gray that's in clear. Boy, you're really close there. Here's some more. These are golden eagle feathers. So anyway, what I do is I get some more water on my brush. Come in here, paint this color first. This is that colored, specks or something down below here. Just kind of rough it in. And don't try to, repeat all your feather markings. That's just not going to look natural. So you want to make each one of them different. Then with the red edge of your brush, you can come back and just randomly put some specks on there. Don't get carried away. There, that's plenty for that one. Then we'll take it, turn it over, and use where it came down, about right there, and then about right there. basically do the same thing. This will all be covered up there where the black will go. Well, that don't look good there. So there, we've got our the one color done on the 3 feathers. This has been shaved off here when I'm going to put the 3 feathers together. I like it as thin as possible so don't stick out so far on the back of the feathers, as I'll show you here. By that I mean this area here. You don't want that too thick. So by shaving these feathers down, that does away with that thickness. You don't want that. Okay, so now we've got the black, and I've got a little black squeezed out here, but it's not enough. Man, this paint don't want to flow today. Okay. And again, looks pretty good. Just like that. Okay. That's a nice looking feather. All right, and then with well, I don't have my clips over here, my clamps. Hmm? Nope, not those. Anyway, my little clamps to hold these things. So I have to go get them, excuse me. Like that. So I'll go ahead and do these later. I want to move along here so these videos don't last so long. And next thing, let me think what I want to do next. Oh, I'll tell you something. Someone called me. One of my collectors called me this morning. And one of my other collectors was retiring, moving to Colorado, and they wanted to sell some of their collection. They called me about it, quite a few months back. But, hang on here, I want to show you. Makes me feel real proud today. Anyway, they called me and they said that they had purchased one of my major scenes. I want to show you what it is here. That I built is here, for a dentist up in Oologah, Oklahoma, which is used to be the home of Will Rogers. And there's a back view of it here. And here's what's inside it. You can see this dentist pulling this guy's teeth. He's having a time of it. This fella here, he's next in line, and he's listening to all the ruckus inside the dentist office. And here on this one here, here's Will Rogers riding down the street of Main Street of Oologah, which is a pretty small town, but it's just up the road from the Dog Arn. Well, yeah, Dog Arn. I keep trying to say doggone. It's Dog Iron. That was the name of the ranch of Will Rogers' family, which is just right outside of Oologah, Oklahoma. Anyway, they purchased this piece from the other collector for themselves, and they mentioned that it will eventually join my other scenes up at the museum at Woolaroc outside of Bartlesville, Oklahoma, which made me quite proud. And it's a tremendous place for it. I have my other large scenes up there, the Gold Nugget Saloon, the stagecoach holdup. There's Will a little closer. There's the side of that piece. Beautiful little piece. Really nice piece. It's going to look great wherever it is. I just thought I'd mention that to you. It makes me feel real proud. I love to see my pieces go to people who really appreciate them, and these two people in this married couple who purchased that. There's that piece. Really working on that guy, isn't he? Man, that must be one tough tooth. And this is the interior. I did a lot of research. Everything in this little scene is accurate for the time period that I made it. That's a dental drill from back then. How would you like to get your tooth drilled out like that the dentist had to sit there and pedal like a bicycle while he's working on your cavity? Anyway, just wanted to mention that. So, next what we're going to do is we're going to varnish this, because I can't put the teeth on until it's varnished, because there would be just too many spots where the varnish would pool and not flow freely. That would give it a good finish, so I'm going to varnish these two pieces. All right? So the first thing I'm going to do is get these out. I think I need the real long one for this one. And we'll go over to the workbench to do this. Okay, I'm over here at the workbench, and what I've got here, I've got the two pieces. I got my brush and I got my varnish. And if Judy will come a little closer now, I want to explain something to you. On the Caricature Carvers Facebook page, there was a good discussion going on about what do you do to finish off your carvings. And naturally, the majority said, we use blow, or boiled linseed oil. Well, I'm an enemy, as probably a lot of you know, of blow. And you know, what I use is polyurethane, satin finish. It says satin finish, warm satin, yep, for my carvings, because it's a hard, when it dries, it seals its surface. It's hard, yet it soaks in a little bit. So you get a finish that it will last forever, almost. And well, it's going to last, any of my pieces will last far longer than I will. Now I forgot my train of thought what I was talking about. Anyway, a fella said, well, he uses blow because he likes the amber cast it gives. Well, if you look at this inside here, it is sort of an amber thing, which I like because it gives it a warm tone. Your finished varnish gives it a warm tone. People want to use blow. Let me show you something. Went out to the barn and I got my can of blow, which I use to put on fence handles, axe handles, etc., etc. This is what happens to blow over time. You want to put that on your carving? I don't think so. And it's still not dry. This stuff is still sticky. And I haven't used this stuff in ages. I bet you 20 years this can hasn't been opened. But that's what happens to your carvings over time. Just think about that a while. Next time you get ready to dip your carving or brush this crap onto your carving. So, I go down to Walmart for my brushes or Lowe's, and I buy these little 1-inch brushes. They're very cheap, $1 maybe. Yes, Jude. I'll tell them about that. Anyway, I buy these things, I use them about 3 or 4 times, and then I just throw them in the trash. Just work the bristles a while, some will fall out, but that's all right, you'll pick those off. So let me brush this one first. So it does get a lot of paint on, or brush varnish on. One thing's, see how those colors deepen? It just turns into something that's way prettier than it was when it was dry. And I'm not meager with the amount that I put on, because I want a lot on there. I want it to soak in. And because we painted it wet, these surfaces, except for maybe the beading surfaces on here, the other surface of the piece will still absorb this varnish. It won't just sit on top of it, on top of the piece. I don't worry about runs and things. That's because I'll show you how to keep that from happening here in a minute. It's already soaking in up here where there's not much paint. And you can see here the amber cast that it leaves to your piece of wood. Don't buy the water-based varnish. They also make a water-based polyurethane, but don't buy that because that'll make your carving cold. Where this mineral-based varnish gives you a warm cast. Wow. Okay, I'm going to let that soak a while. Keep it away from that blow. I don't want to even get near it. Now on the face, you'll notice there's hardly any paint on this face. So it's really going to absorb this varnish. And by absorbing this varnish, it's going to strengthen the surface of the wood to protect it over time. And if a holiday shows itself after you've got everything varnished, you can go back and correct that with, your brush, small brush, and then just paint a little varnish over the top of that area. And see here on his forehead, see, it's already sucked in all that varnish that I put on there. And it'll just keep sucking it in there. And I'll go back and paint it again. Years ago, I did a little carving of Will Rogers as a young cowboy. And I donated it to the Will Rogers Memorial here in Claremore, which is just outside of Tulsa. And they were really pleased to receive it. And it was on display there for a long, long time, right out in the middle of the main floor. Then I went down one day and it disappeared. And I thought, oh darn. It's downstairs collecting dust with the other things. Well, these friends who bought that dental scene told me that they were in the memorial recently and was talking to the head person there, and she said, oh, that carving's sitting on my desk. I love it. And eventually it's going to be on display back in the museum once they get a big construction project for the museum, to enlarge the museum, finished. That's everything. Another clamp there. Now, let me go get a paper towel here. I'll be right back. Now what's it doing?
Now it's recording.
Judy forgot to punch the button. Anyway, what I'm doing here with the paper towel, don't use anything else, use a paper towel, and real gently blot off these shiny areas, like I'm doing here. You don't want to rub it, or you're going to end up possibly tearing the fiber of this off. But you definitely don't want to use a piece of cloth, and you don't want to use something like toilet paper or Kleenex or something like that, because that'll just dissolve and leave stuff all over your piece. So we got that one done. That's looking pretty good. Now, on his face, notice there's hardly any shiny area on that anymore because all that varnish has soaked in, which is great. There's a little varnish left on the high spots, but that's the only place. And if some of those holidays show up, you can still go back and touch them up. Maybe dab a little varnish on there. Get him away from that blow. So there you go. The colors really pop now. Okay? And that's going to do that. Now what else? Well, I think that's just about going to do it for this video. Now in the next video, what we'll do is the next step will be to add the teeth, paint the teeth, and add them on here. And hopefully we can finish this series up in the next video. So until then, I'll talk to you later.